Oh, they did
Oh
it.
my god. Oh, the madmen. They did
Oh,
it.
okay. So to give a little bit of context for this, this is the first time he's been picked this tournament.
Oh wow, I can't imagine the reason why.
Okay, and
Wait, no,
Alsame
no,
picking, going a little bit higher tier, but
wait, Barrett, this map is actually optimal for Merciful because there's a koi pond in the middle that you can fish out
oh, actual perfection.
of.
And you know, this isn't the Project Groove version where he actually is kind of useful. This is the base game version where he's literally weaker than not having a power.
No, but it's like taunting, you see. When you taunt in like competitive fighting games, you mentally throw off the opponent. So that's one way to win the battle before you start fighting the battle.
I'll take. I mean, yeah, I agree, but like, I'll take your word for it. It
Not,
is.
not that I am good at fighting games, so maybe don't take my advice on that one.
I'm not particularly great at fighting games either, so I'm so
But I
happy though.
think the game is not on the stream.
Is it not? No, it is. Oh, there's a 2 minute delay, so
Oh, okay, okay.
if you have the stream open, yeah, that'll be why. Because of course we can't have the
Okay.
players
All right.
listening to the stream.
Yeah, no, totally.
I mean, in theory they could, but that would eat into their turn timers. So I'm just waiting for the chat reaction to seeing Merciful on stream.
Oh, I know who chat will probably be rooting for. Although I must say that a Secret has her fair share of fans as well. So
This is very true. We can get some noms in chat actually. Actually, if people, so here's the thing that I did with my channel. Channel points, the stuff you can buy with them on my channel are really cheap, especially like the sub emote things. So yeah, you can unlock an emote for 200 and you get like way more than that just by watching the stream. Like a single game of Wargroove is more than that, I think. So
yeah.
if people can buy the nom emote, which I think you can, open emote picker.
Oh wow. Wait, Barrett, are you seeing this? Secret just totally ignored that village on the side, and Alsame is just going directly towards the stronghold. That's got to be quite scary to face, right? Like Sigrid is charging at your stronghold. She's gonna build groove off the villagers, and she'll just constantly be threatening to eat a unit, and you can't attack her unless you have lethal. Oh, Alsami building a knight. Oh, he's really going all in on the HQ rush here. Although it won't be that difficult to transition out of it if he so chooses.
Yeah, but actually, how much money does Saikoya? Ooh, is Saikoya? No, he can't. I was thinking, oh, is he saving for a dragon? But he's not.
Like, you wouldn't save for a dragon versus Sigrid, right?
Oh, early on you would, because you can push her back before she gets groove.
Oh, that's true, but with the cap phase that Saikoya chose, it's definitely not possible to do that. There's too much free groove here.
And of course, something I always forget is like Merciful has medium charge because
Ooh.
like so we're not even like will he even get to meme and do the fish pond or like do some fishing?
Merciful is going to get groove on the next turn because once he ends, he'll be at 60, and then like next turn he'll get a kill on the village and go up to like 93, and then he'll end turn and he'll be at 100. So he'll get groove at the end of next turn. Very exciting. I wonder what users Saikoya has thought up for Merciful's groove.
Are we gonna see the legendary meme of like, I mean it's a joke and an urban legend, but there is that joke of he can fish a dragon up. I'm curious.
Oh. Well, Sigurd will eat the dragon that he fishes up.
Oh,
So it's just equal. This is a balanced matchup, Barrett. Totally balanced.
yes, exactly. Also, for the person asking in chat, this is losers 8s. So this tournament isn't double elim, but we added like a lower bracket for people to play up to getting like 5th place. So for the people that get knocked out in the round of 8, we're actually like thinking about extending that next time to even earlier rounds, so there's like a chance to like come back and get 5th. But so yeah, this is not semi-finals, this is a chance to earn a little bit more money, earn a little bit more recognition. I think coming joint 7th in this is $15. I believe it's like $45 if you come 5th. So not a massive amount of money, but it's enough that people would be like, oh, you know, that's actually kind of nice. I could buy myself like a nice like video game. I was gonna say Cyberpunk, but no. I don't think anyone's buying Cyberpunk at the moment.
What do you do instead? Illegally torrent it?
No, it's a buggy mess, so people are refunding it right now. That's the joke. But 93. Oh, he's doing what he said. He's gonna have groove.
Oh yeah, exactly as I predicted. Oh man, this is turning out to be an exciting matchup. Sigrid will also charge groove on like this next turn. So, I wonder what's going to happen. Saikoya doing very well on economy at the moment. Mainly because Alsame just totally ignored these villages in the bottom left that Saikoya took on his responding side on the top right.
He's also just left his rifle. Like, this is a rifleless opening on open season.
Well, that's unusual. I think Alsame might be trying to break it out of the mage, but I think the mage will only do like 25 to 35 even with the crit, so it's unlikely to break. Unless he also commits the sword, in which case he'll definitely break. I wonder if you're just going to see Alsame like just rush the HQ, because like he has a knight, he has swords, he has Sigrid, and Saikoya's HQ looks a little bit open. Not totally open, but a little bit.
It does, but the Harpy complicates things, because I guess that's what Sigrid will have to use her groove on.
It's true. I think the right play this turn is just Sigrid farms groove off the 7 HP village in the middle. Then Alsame will be back to somewhat even on economy and have groove, which is important.
Yeah.
But Alsame just places knight in Harpy range though.
Yeah.
That's
so...
huge. That just shuts down any possibility of a rush. Unless he also captures this village, which would block the Harpy because of the flagstone.
Oh, that's a good point.
But the village could be freed. If he does that, the rifle can hit the sword, which will open the path for the Harpy to get through. So I don't think there's any way you can save your knight here. Unless you use the dog to block between the flagstone and the village, and then use the sword to cap from underneath it, which saves the heart. Okay, but he didn't do that.
Oh, he's just going straight for the stronghold. Okay.
Oh wow. Well, if this works, I'll be very impressed. And if it doesn't, I'll still be very impressed.
I mean, alright, so he needs to make sure the knight can't hit. Although, actually, you were just hitting the knight, right? Oh, it's a bait, though. Because, let's say the Harpy goes down for the knight. There's nothing blocking the stronghold, so Sigrid could just run up and hit it.
About the stronghold with like the few, like you can use a couple dogs and a sword to delay the stronghold attack for like 1 turn, while you deal with the knight, and then I think after that the push doesn't work anymore because you can build your own like power units. I don't know. It's really complicated. Working out whether Secret Rush works or not is like super complicated.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, he's got this mage, so he could heal things potentially. If the Harpy does come down, he could heal the knight, and then it would do like half a knight crit on the stronghold, which is still a decent chunk of damage. I guess the question is, like, would he go for something like that?
No, wait, hold on. So here's what I'm thinking. If the Harpy hits the knight will be at like really low health. And then it might be possible that the knight crit on the stronghold will actually make the knight die from the counter attack. Because the stronghold counter attacks as if it's at full health all the time, right?
Yeah.
So it's possible that actually hitting the knight would open up a suicide attacker into the stronghold here.
How much damage does a stronghold do to a knight? I don't think it's that much. I think it's only like 10%-ish. 15 maybe?
Well, let's find out. I'm running the number.
Because I know when like a knight hits a village, it only drops down to like 80 something.
Yeah, so you're right. It does like 15 base. So if this knight drops down to like around 15 health, then the play will work. And if not, it won't.
Yeah, but Harpy only deals like on planes like 55-ish. So actually, like Mage Heal on the knight would bring it up to above half health. So
maybe right. That's interesting. I do think that if Alsame was going for this, he should have just ignored the village and have an actual full health knight to hit the stronghold instead of just a cheap, instead of an injured one. Okay, I'm interested to see how Saikoya responds to this. It's not trivial at all to defend this correctly. So definitely requires some care here.
yeah, I mean, I think he does have to kill. Well, he doesn't have to hit the knight, right? Yeah, he's gonna.
He goes for it.
Oh, that did a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's like, that is, I believe that is a high roll. No, yeah, that is actually a max roll. Wow.
Oh wait, I had the
Amazing.
damage values long. I was looking at Harpy versus Harpy. They do a lot more than that to a knight.
Yep, and this, so like, this was a max roll or close to a max roll, like one off the maximum possible roll. But I do think that Saikoya this turn is just going to wall off his stronghold with like the dogs and the sword, and Alsame will have no way to hit it on the follow-up turn.
Do you shoot the dog with the rifle? I think it's worth it.
You could shoot the dog and then attack it with. Yep.
Yeah, because the rifle crit is okay against dog, and then. Oh, he's gonna save the rifle? Okay.
What is that rifle going to do? I wonder. Oh, Merciful going back towards the middle of the map where you can groove on the koi pond.
Oh, he reloads? Okay.
It reloads. Oh wow. So Saikoya, by reloading, he expects this fight to take 2 turns more. Because that's the only reason why you would reload. Because you need 2 shots. He thinks he'll need 2 shots.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, like, Sigrid goes after the Harpy. Also, apologies to chat from the future. I did calculate some of that wrong. The Harpy does a lot more than 60 or 55 to a knight on planes.
I don't see how this can work for Saikoya though. Yeah, I don't see how this can work for Alsame.
I guess you just groove the Harpy. And then kill other units that are available. Like, if you groove the Harpy, you open up a sword crit on that sword.
But then you've basically given up on the HQ push, right? And like now, then you'd just be worse. You have to play a worse game in which you're behind. Well, I guess that might not. Ooh, but Alsame chooses something else. He's going to attempt to crit use this sword crit to probably get rid of that 6 HP sword, and then maybe set up Knight crit and Dog hit on the stronghold, which won't knock it out, but it will do some damage. You just think that this might have worked. You know, there was a chance that this had worked if Alsame had done his previous turn a little different.
Yeah, if that knight wasn't in a position where the Harpy would hit it, then that opens up a lot more options.
Right.
I mean, I guess like you could send your dog over, or you could heal the dog and then send it after the rifle.
Well, you can, but that. Well, I guess you could do that.
Like,
It's
it's
the
not
play.
a great idea, but it would do a lot of damage to the rifle, it would force it back.
Right. Okay.
I don't know about that sword move, but
See, when you're playing from behind, you just want to have some sort of maybe asymmetry. Like you want to have some sort of imbalance in the position that you can exploit to maybe get back into the game. So taking out the rifle creates an imbalance, which maybe Alsame could try to leverage somehow. But when you don't have the imbalance, you're just behind on every aspect, then it's really hard to fight, to get your way back into the game. I'm probably overanalyzing this. It's like a meme. Oh,
well, he
okay.
goes for the rifle. And that's good damage.
It's good damage.
But there is that thing of like damaging your enemy units, like even if it's super gold efficient, if you're losing units to do the damage, your opponent can just heal up, and unit count means so much in this game.
Right. Exactly.
So, I mean, I think we're gonna see this knight die this turn. There really isn't much to stop that, or actually, would it die? Oh, I guess you could suicide like the 6 health sword into the knight, and then Harpy plus another sword to follow up would kill it.
You could get a sword crit if you use Merciful. If you moved him over.
Yeah, but you almost want to use Merciful to hit Sigrid's.
I don't think there's any point in doing that because Sigrid probably wants to groove something on the next turn, or maybe not actually. I don't know.
It forces into a position where she has to, and that means she can't
Right,
just sit and
that's
hit and hold groove.
true as well. Grooving is, I mean, hitting Sigrid is a possibility here. It's a good option.
Yeah, and then like you throw like a mage heal down on Merciful, and like he's sitting basically at full health at that point. I think actually if you take the knight out, you can even set up things like you could get, I think you could actually kill the mage and the sword between the knight and the mage. And that clears out all the anti-air as well, aside from Sigrid's Groove.
I'm not sure you can kill the mage, but you can definitely set it to like really low health, and that's kind of the same thing when you're just trying to defend, because as long as the harpy can't, the mage can't kill your harpy, it's still useful as a blocker. Saikoya definitely has a lot of things he wants to hit this turn. Dog goes out.
I don't even think a sword crit would kill the knight now. No, like he's on upper planes, so it'd have to be like a super high roll. Right. I think he could have suicided the 6 health sword first.
It doesn't really matter. Okay, I want to point out what Saikoya just did here. This is a suboptimal play, using 2 dogs to kill slightly injured dog, because you can save some damage on the original dog by just not attacking and then letting the second one crit and take it out. But
he also had a knight crit as well. They could have done that.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Ooh, that sword got a high roll. So actually, in theory, I guess a crit could have done it. But I think hitting Sigrid is better.
That's a really high roll. Wow. Ooh, heals the rifle. Rifle will probably take out the mage, I imagine.
Maybe?
Or
no, he goes for the sword.
Okay. It's a reasonable option as well.
I guess it's just a very confusing, yeah, he's gonna hit Sigrid. And not the best roll for the hit, but as long as you have the life lead, that's the important bit. He can throw a mage heal down on Merciful next turn.
Right.
And Sigrid's just kind of forced to sit there and potentially use Groove.
Cool, dragon.
Oh, Saikoya has such a huge unit lead at the end of this turn as well.
Yeah.
Are we actually going to see Merciful not only get picked, but win the game that he's playing?
I think in his heart, Alsame wanted this to happen, which is why he played the way he did. He wanted to give Merciful the W, and I respect that.
I mean, I think he also kind of wanted to win. I think he wanted to see if he could break through and like steal a quick win at the start of a match.
And for the record, I think there was some like serious possibility there, but he didn't execute it correctly. Oh well.
If nothing else, I think he has to groove this harpy. He just doesn't have the anti-air to deal with it. Oh right. No, he's gonna have to save it for the... He may actually just have to save it for the dragon.
So this is the really how do I say? Is it a catch-22 that Alsame is in right now? Because you have to heal yourself, but there's nowhere to heal. But you also have to, and you want to kill the harpy. But if you do that, you waste it. And the dragon will be able to move down to this spot where the harpy is and then get the attack on Sigrid when she doesn't have groove. So that's how you counterplay Sigrid. You just force out her groove and then you go to town. Like most other...
Sigrid wants to brawl early game and win enough of the fights that she can basically use her groove to just snowball. That is like essentially how she works.
Right.
And that isn't really a thing that exists in the current meta of this game. Like, people are too good at defending and not losing the early game. And the maps don't really allow for snowballs to that extent.
Well, there's a reason why none of the maps allow that, because maps that allow that are, how do you say, they are edited so that the early rushes are not really possible. Like, there used to be maps in Groove of War where you could kind of just rush your commander to the enemy stronghold and then force a fight there. And in those maps, like commanders like Emmerich, Sigrid, the twins were really good. But people didn't like that because they thought it wasn't fun gameplay. And so now maps like that generally don't exist.
Yeah, and there is still early pressure you can put on. I mean, like, this match is a good example. Well, I don't know if it's a good example of that, but like, this map in general allows you to walk up with your commander fairly early and apply pressure, even if that pressure isn't game ending.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And even if you don't usually get the kill directly out of the pressure, but you do like force your opponent to give up on a lot of villages on the respective side. So Alsame just choosing to pull back here, saving his Sigrid Groove for something of more value, which makes sense. It's like one of the only ways he can come back into the game now.
I wonder if he's gonna... He could potentially shoot this village on the right hand side with his rifle to like make it just low enough for the dog to decap. And you know, that's like the kind of small plays that will at least like give you an opportunity to come back.
But I do feel like the rifle wants to heal and then like move into a good position where it'll control both sides of the map. So I don't like, you do like, if you decap this turn, you do gain 100 gold, but that's kind of minor when you're already behind by so much, I feel.
The Emo's making a good point in chat. If Sigrid rushes are strong in early game, then like Valder rushes are just ridiculous on those maps.
Yep.
And we definitely had maps like that before where Valder would just be basically unbeatable.
Yeah, Valder is really scary to fight early game. He has a bunch of swords. If you try to fight him, give him more swords, and all your stuff just dies, and he feeds on it and turns them into more swords. So
Yeah, so
really difficult.
it's hard to
Pleasant.
Oh, sorry.
I have pleasant memories of like this game that I played Alsame on Safe Haven, where he was Sigrid and I was Valder, and he tried to rush me as Sigrid and he just died. Died for his rush. Not to flex or anything.
Oh, it's fine. You can flex. I mean, you're a game up in the semifinals right now, so.
All right, Saikoya has Groove. I wonder what he'll use it on.
I hope he uses it this turn.
That would be Pog. Chat, if he uses it this turn, type a Pog in the chat.
Oh, definitely. We gotta get some Pogs in chat.
That would be awesome.
I need... I'm gonna change one of my emotes to be an archer. I could potentially get more emote slots if people sub enough, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. But I might switch some of my emotes around. I've definitely been looking at that, and I can also put some of them on better Twitch TV, so people don't even need to subscribe to use those emotes. I wonder if I should... I was thinking about what kind of archer emote I'd get, and maybe like a Pog archer would be good. I'm not sure.
Ooh. Now, an interesting thing is that Alsame actually won on this map against Spacefront using a rather similar strategy, which was to pick one of the COs that is good at dealing with big units. So those are Wolfar, Sigrid, and LD. And in this match with Spacefront, he picked LD and actually won that game by just building a golem. Well, first he got a hit on economy, and then he built a golem, and Spacefront couldn't deal with the golem. Because what you used to do with an LD golem, right? Like if you use a dragon, LD steals a dragon, and now you're down a big unit swing. And then in the end, that pressured him so much that Space Front got lethal. It was amazing. I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
Elodie is definitely the stronger of the Sigrids and the Elodie archetype, where like you're just dealing a huge amount of damage to one unit, or capturing it, or knocking it away, or eating it. Yeah, like that kind of I target one unit and it either becomes mine or dies.
Right. Yeah, it definitely feels like LD has the more powerful effect. Because you actually get to use the unit that you stole, and then that can be like a really big swing, like if you use it on a power unit like a dragon. Alsame really taking his time to calculate the optimal merciful groove here. There's two options.
Oh,
He
it's
just has to
Saikoya that's thinking. You said
sorry,
Alsame.
Saikoya really taking his time to calculate the optimal merciful groove. There's two options. He has to pick one.
I mean,
There is no third option.
he either does it now or does it later. Those are the two options.
So the only option is to do it now. The law of the universe demands it.
I guess nothing can like attack him from the koi pond, so
Yeah, that's pretty crucial.
this is, if he's gonna do it, this is actually a safe turn to do it.
You know, Saikoya is actually like really in general, Saikoya is just really brave with their commander. Like putting them sometimes he gets punished for it because there's lethal, but most of the time it's actually safe. And then his commander is in an aggressive position, which you can't punish, and then you have to retreat. So that's how Saikoya wins a lot of his games, by getting really good aggressive commander positioning, and then just edging out the opponent from there. So we could see that this game. He is the type of player to just not care about his commander being exposed a little bit, and just use his groove.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely. Oh, I mean that's a bit. It's like a harsh way of putting it, given what happened with your game against him on game 3. Definitely put his commander on the mountain that's actually very near to where Emmerich is standing right now. Not Emmerich, Merciful. That was a rough way to go.
It was.
This could be you versus Alsame right now.
Oh, it could have been. I mean, I meant no disrespect by what I said. I respect Saikoya a lot.
Oh no, like I get what you mean. Like it wasn't I'm just like joking around, but
Oh, okay.
oh, what's he gonna do? I mean, he has the unit leads at the start of his turn, which is always good, and he has the economy lead at the start of his turn, which is also very good.
Yeah.
The only thing Alsame has going for him is that Sigrid Groove can actually do something.
And that's the kind of imbalance in the position that I was talking about. You have to have something when you're losing, when you're behind. You have to have something that you can hold on to for winning chances. Anyway, looks like Saikoya has finished his deep think and is now deciding which tile to use Merciful Groove from. I wonder which one it will be.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, obviously he needs to capture this village.
It seems...
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Moves rifle forward and gets the heal.
That's actually a value, well, close to a value heal. The mage heal...
Oh,
Oh!
it happens!
Oh!
What's he gonna get? He gets a green fish! Yeah! Right. Hope everybody in chat is ready with the pogs.
Pog, get a chat. Give us a pog in chat, please. That was amazing.
Oh,
This
there's actually a fish pog emote. I wish I had that activated on my channel.
is a legendary moment in Groove of War history. No other moment will ever replace this one. This one's unique. Chat, you're watching history being made.
All right. He has to win though, because like if he wins and pulls off a merciful groove, then that makes him a legend. Like if just like picking merciful and doing a groove, that's kind of like anybody could do that, right? But like winning after you do a merciful groove, that's when it matters.
That's true.
Oh, someone in chat, Timekey just called the mountain that Saikoya died on against you Death Mountain, and I think I'm just gonna steal that and use that from now on. That mountain is now Death Mountain.
Well, to be fair, it's very dangerous to actually put your commander there. Like even if it's on your own side, like because the road tiles are really good to suicide units from, so you're deceptively unsafe there.
Okay, he doesn't capture the village. That to me is quite interesting. He just goes for a decap.
He obviously doesn't want to feed Sigrid Groove. Ha ha ha.
Oh, good joke. Well, Sigrid can't really use her groove this turn. Because like she goes to the harpy, she's standing on a road and dies. She goes for the swords, like she just gets surrounded and dies anyway.
It's like Sigrid has Saikoya has presented Alsame with two bad options. So Alsame will invent his own third option and do something else.
I guess you could go for the 7 health village. Although you're better using a knight for that.
Feels like your stronghold will just die if you move the commander away from your stronghold now. Like Sigrid needs to be near the stronghold.
Yeah, the dragon actually could hit the stronghold next turn if it really wanted to. I don't think it would, but the fact that it threatens it is a big deal just by itself.
Right, and Saikoya actually has knights, swords backing up the push, all of which do like good damage to structures. So it'd be really tough to hold this. You know, I thought Saikoya was like thinking for a really long time, but it might just be the game bug because when I look at the timer, Saikoya's sitting on 35 minutes. I know that for a fact, and like Alsame is sitting on 25 minutes. So it's probably Alsame who's taking the long think here.
You say that, but actually, I wonder what happened there. I'll need to go back and check that.
I think it's a bug in the game.
Maybe, because you can also disconnect and then rejoin, and that resets the timer.
Well, isn't that illegal?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, I guess it depends on like the circumstances it happens. Like if you just disconnect, but you should contact an admin in that case. Oh, low roll in the night. That's unfortunate.
Okay, yeah. I mean, there was a significant chance for that to happen. Just because it's a 65 to 75, so 45% of the time you're going to not kill the village.
I think that mage is on low enough health that a dragon could run down and hit it, and it would be a good trade. And then you're kind of... Oh no, you don't want to leave a dragon next to Sigrid. That's a bad option. Unless, like... Actually, you could do that. You could hit the mage with the dragon, let's say. And then... bring the rest of your army down, so you just like do as much damage to Sigurd's army as possible. Like you could probably kill this knight.
I feel like you just ignore the knight and you go push the other side of the map, right? Like, because
I would say so. There's so few units from Alsame on the bottom left, and there's such a big army for Saikoya. You could literally just swoop your entire army down and then just surround Sigrid.
well, you could, but that would be. I feel that would be giving Sigrid some way of coming back into the game. And if you're ahead, you don't want to give them any chances at all, because Sigrid's groove might be useful in that scenario. Whereas if you just ignore her, she's not doing anything, and you go push the other side of the map, it's like guaranteed that she can't do anything.
There is a lot of follow-up to that though. Like the rifle could move into a position where it heals. You could like basically kill the knight. I think Harpy plus dog almost does it at this point, because it's already damaged. I mean, it's in a forest tile, so that helps quite a bit.
Right.
But you heavily injure the knight, you heavily injure the mage. You just bring the rest of your army down, so if Sigrid stands and tries to eat the dragon, you could even do something like... Oh, I guess you'd bring the knight down to crit that village, if you're gonna do that. And just like go for... Oh, but there's a spear now defending it, which stops the knight crit.
Well, I guess we'll have to agree to disagree on the options here. Yeah. Saikoya's in a really good spot regardless, which puts him closer to achieving the famed title of legend for having used Merciful Groove and winning with it. Saikoya is so close to greatness. He has to close out this game and win, and he'll be forever recorded in the annals of Wargroove, of Groove of War history.
I believe the word is annals. Annals is
Oh.
something else, but...
Anna. All right, Barrett. My point taken.
But yeah, I'm curious to see what's he gonna do. I mean, the dragon has pretty limited options. It's mostly a pressure tool at this point in time.
Well, based on my experience playing Saikoya, I think he'll just try to push the stronghold here. It feels like the most Saikoya-y type of play.
Yeah, like there's definitely like you kill that sword on the right, which also failed to kill the village. I guess we didn't really talk about that, but rather unfortunate that there's a very low health village sitting next to, like, he could have potentially taken that down like 2 turns ago at this point.
Yeah, that's true. No, but like this guy though, there's nothing that can hit. I think Saikoya is just gonna try to farm a second groove while pushing the stronghold. That would make him twice as legendary. But I guess if you do like leave the stronghold, oh yeah, he's going for it. If you do leave the stronghold, you have to be careful about like Sigrid plus the knight on the left side that can push your own stronghold. But maybe you win the race if that happens.
I think as long as the Harpy's still there. I mean, hell, you could even just like basically sacrifice the Harpy to deal a lot of damage to the knight.
That would be kind of worth it.
And like you could even move the rifle into a position where it would shoot the mage if it tries to kill the Harpy, so...
Yeah, definitely. That's one reason I think Harpies are a lot better than usual on this map, and balloons. Because like normally you would just counter them with mages, but on this map mages can be taken out by the rifle. So you can move an air unit in and then like guard it with the rifle. And then like your Harpy just has to deal maybe 200 gold worth of damage to make that worthwhile for you. For you to trade the mage for the Harpy. Saikoya's still moving very quickly here. He's only at 33 minutes on the timer. So he's definitely playing very fast. Which
Yeah,
makes
I
sense.
think even though he took quite a long time on that last turn, like I would have to go back and check, but I think he was just playing so fast up until that point that taking a few minutes on the turn, like he was just so far ahead in time that that was fine. Because Alsame's definitely been taking a lot of time each turn.
Right. I do think that most of Saikoya's time spent so far was spent on like the few turns where he was trying to figure out how to defend the H2 rush with Sigrid. And now that that's gone and he's like massively in the lead, he's just playing very quickly because it's so easy. And we do see Alsame, Sigrid going into the balloon, heading over to defend, which is what you want to do, I feel. Just put some pressure on that enemy dragon.
Oh, but even if he does, I think there's such a big army here, and it's a very mobile army as well. There's a lot of dogs on this front line. There's a knight, there's a dragon, like there's a rifle to back things up. He moved a lot of stuff in range of Alsame's rifle, which could get a good shot off, but it's fairly injured, so it won't kill anything.
Oh.
Ooh, Sigrid in a very brave position.
It's not really, that balloon can't be killed, so you give Sigrid. So Saikoya has two sides. I feel like it's not favored, and if it doesn't work, then Alsame suddenly has a way to get massive value of his groove and go back to full health in the meantime. So I feel like Saikoya will just never try for the veto here.
Yeah, I mean, he could just like hit her once, and then
It's possible.
yeah,
I don't-
because like if you damage her, it forces her to use her groove if she wants to do anything, and if you give her not very good groove targets, because like you can do things like you position the unit she'll groove to recover health in a way that she would die if she goes for that groove.
Right.
Um,
But I do think that if you just like try to chip her a little bit, like maybe hit with a knight or something, that Alsame would just use a mage heal, like what he did previously, and conserve the groove while still putting Sigrid back up to like full health.
oh, this is a very
This is
annoying
a great
position.
moment to talk about that moment in the campaign at the start where Sigrid sneaks into Merciful's castle.
Oh yeah, I mean this would be like the revenge, right?
Right.
These two have like a storied history.
Return of the king. He's back. He's ready for revenge. Dun dun dun. I think Alsame is just giving us some nice time to listen to Sigrid's wonderful music here. Sigrid's music is one of the musics that I like the most in the whole game.
Really?
Yeah, it is.
I guess like
I'm not,
it's not like, I mean like Merciful's theme is like an absolute banger, right? It's like really good, it's like really upbeat and exciting. And you don't get to hear it very often, which I think adds to like, but I guess like Sigrid's kind of like, it's got this like nice chill vibe to it, so yeah, I can appreciate that.
I mean, I definitely love both themes. They're just so good. I just love them, but yeah.
But I think you might be the first person I've ever heard that's like, yeah, Sigrid's theme is my favorite. But I can respect it. It's a good theme.
Okay.
Alright, he's just shooting her a sword because why not? And
This
suddenly
is
this.
actually,
Sorry.
I was gonna say it's actually not a good idea to do that if your commander is exposed and you can't finish it off, because that injured sword is now a potential suicide attacker into the commander.
Yeah, but I
Or
don't think there's enough here to warrant. Because, like, Sigurd's also on a flagstone tile, so she's a bit tankier than normal. And, you know, you can't hit.
idea,
Pardon?
but I mean the idea is that you would keep it around. You would just not heal that sword ever and just leave it at low health, and because there's actually no way for you to get injured swords by yourself, right? Other than by hitting villages, which it's not, you don't always get the chance to do that. So injured units are a valuable resource in their own right sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Something I just realized is the dragon could go and pick off that mage in the south, and there's nothing defending it. Like, the harpy could follow up as well.
That's true. That would be a very Saikoya-like play to do. You bait the response on the right side, and then you switch fronts and take profit on the other side. Very, very Saikoya-ish play. Saikoya-y,
Yeah.
whatever the phrase is.
Because he
But-
definitely can't break the front that he's up against right now.
No, but actually, that raises a question. If you do that, can Alsame surround the air units? Like, you can't kill them, but can you somehow make it so that they can't escape, and then you picked off two really big units?
The rifle could run down and heal from the 6 health village, and then that covers that.
True. I still think there is a little bit of possibility to do that, maybe. Like, maybe not both, but you could definitely trap the dragon. If it went down and hit from the right side of the mage, definitely feels like a trap is possible.
Yeah, I could see that. But I think a rifle by itself would be enough to break out, because there isn't enough units around it that oh, he's not gonna go for it. But the option was there. I mean, he could still hit it with the dragon. That would do a lot of damage.
You would have to, the rifle wouldn't help deal with Sigrid and the balloon and this knight next to Sigrid, which could all go down and help trap the dragon if it did that. So I feel it's not wise to commit the dragon to doing that.
Oh, but if you send like Sigrid and the knight and all that down to trap the dragon, suddenly your stronghold is not got Sigrid and the balloon blocking.
That's also true. It could be like 100 or maybe 200 IQ play to use the dragon to do that, and then like bait Alsame to leave the stronghold, and then like you suddenly have some sort of lethal. But actually, Saikoya's army, I want to say it's not really set up very well to do that, because he has one knight, and a few swords, but not enough, I feel. Well, maybe it's possible. It's iffy. Like, you really just want to have two knights when you're trying for this kind of stuff. Two knights makes it a lot easier to threaten stronghold lethal, because you can crit once and then plan to crit on the second turn, and that's like really good odds of killing the stronghold. Or it's good odds, maybe not really good.
I really just want to see this dragon go down and hit the mage. Like, I'm just focused on that now. Like, I think it's such a good play, because the dragon can still hit like the rest of the army. Even if you have to sacrifice so much to get a surround on it as well. And, like, there's even things like the dogs can like crit anything above that tile, so the dragon goes on the mountain, and then there's like so much there to punish. So I just want to see it happen now. I'm going to be so disappointed if he doesn't go for that play.
Saikoya has side quests to accomplish. In addition to the main quest of winning the game, he now has side quests. We are giving him side quests to accomplish so that he can level up more.
I like the repositioning of the knight that threatens that village in the south as well. Yeah, he's just gonna move his army to the left. Oh, he doesn't go for it. He had the opportunity.
Oh, he failed the side quest.
But I mean,
It's
he's up
like
on
that
income, right? So
It's like one of those moments in Skyrim. You failed the one-time only quest. You can never get it again.
I didn't know there were one-time only quests in Skyrim. But
I
yeah.
could be wrong. I seem to recall that there are, but I could be wrong.
But yeah, like he's just gonna switch back to the left-hand side. Oh, but he could have hit a unit while he was doing it. I'm disappointed.
Merciful now next to the koi pond again. Saikoya's just been dancing around the koi pond this whole game. He's really itching to build up and use that second groove.
It's very much worth noting he's a big time lead right now. I will after this is done go back and double check just to make sure. And if it is the case that he disconnected from the match and the timer reset and he took longer, like I will make sure that like if that was enough of a factor that like he would have lost on time because of that, like it will come into play.
Ooh. Spicy.
Because it does state in the rules that you aren't supposed to quit the game to give yourself more time. That is one of the... I was talking to Chocofish about this when they put the timers in. They said we would only get timers if that was the case. Like, just because of the way they were implemented. And they did it on such short notice.
You mean one of the Chocofish devs?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
They basically said this is the only way we can do timers, like, because it was right before the Double Trouble patch dropped. And we were talking to them about it, and they were saying the only way we can do this is if, like, we can do it, but it will have this, like, negative side effect.
I feel like it's a reasonable trade-off.
Yeah, because if if we're literally streaming it, then we'll have the exact time of like when things happen. So, ooh, Alsame's being aggressive.
Ooh, I appreciate the spirit here, because most of Saikoya's army or a bunch of it is on the left side, so it can't reach the right side that quickly. So I guess Alsame is trying to come back into the game by being aggressive, which is a good spirit to have.
Yeah, I do think though, because like, if you look at this, you're like, oh well, there isn't really much here that can deal with the knight, but an archer hits the knight pretty hard,
right?
And it opens up things like the mage, which also isn't great against knight, but does quite a bit of damage to it. That's like, archer plus mage is like 80 on road, so that would be like 72 on plains average.
I feel like we would see just the archer hit and like maybe one sword go in, and that would be the maximum that Saikoya would be willing to commit to that.
That's a hard one to say, because like I think there are options. I guess you could set up a sword crit as well, so you could do something like archer plus. You could even set up like double sword crit archer.
Well, we gotta keep in mind, Alsame isn't done taking his turn, so depending on what the follow-up is here, it could make the rest of that a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now the knight is probably dead. Because you can get archer plus 3 sides with swords and dogs and a mage if you want it.
If he sends in enough closely, like a hex could come out as well. It looks like he's just sending that one low knight up ahead.
Right. The knight is actually in. I mean, Sigrid is actually in a crit position of the knight. But crucially, the dragon can't hit her from a different tile, so there would be no lethal pressure here, I feel.
It's worth noting that 2 villages on the left can go down from Saikoya. Like, you could have the dragon take out the 6 health one, and like either use the harpy plus the mage to kill the sword, or have the harpy hit the village and have a sword capture it.
Right. That's a good option to go for when you're just in this stage of the game where it's like a kind of a staring contest and you're making small pushes on either side but not really committing your whole army. So that would be a nice thing to do with your dragon and harpy while you just maintain the stalemate. Just take some economy and like force Alsame to try to get it back. And Alsame actually doesn't have like a super good way of getting it back. You would have to commit more units, and that kind of goes against what he's trying to do here by pushing in the top.
Okay, so Alsame moves forward. He's keeping his army mostly at range.
Alsame very low on time. He has less than 10 minutes.
Yeah, and
This game is far from over. Like, if he wanted, Saikoya could just more or less just turtle and stall out the game, and you'll probably win.
yeah,
Yes,
I don't think he
minutes.
will.
Wow.
I think he would more likely go for like obvious punishes here, like taking the villages on the
Sure.
left, like trying to either kill or at least to seriously damage the knight on the right.
Yep.
He can shoot the mage with his rifle, and the rifle's completely safe. So
Ooh, oh yeah, I didn't see that. The rifle that is in range of the rifle. It's really hard to keep track of this like later into the game. So sometimes on this map you just forget that rifles can do that, and you leave units within range. It's one more thing to mentally keep track of.
even heal the rifle first. Like, you could heal the sword up as well. Like, a 5 health sword is generally more useful than a 3 health one, because like they can both
Yeah.
suicide, right? So
Right.
and like the 9, you want like a full health sword instead of a 94%. Oh, the 94% can suicide more consistently and deal good damage, so I guess we'll see.
I do think that you don't generally need suicide attackers below say 7 health, because when you're trying to suicide, you probably have 2 sides that you can already attack from, and you only need the commander to be at maybe 70-ish or so. So yeah, but yeah, it is a consideration sometimes.
Okay, well, Saikoya has to do something. Like, he can't just pull back, because if he pulls back, Alsame will just take an econ lead. And like that left side is so open. Like, got the 5 health village, 6 health village, and you got plenty of stuff that can punish it. There's a sword defending.
Yeah.
Okay, he's gonna be even more aggressive than I would have thought, but
Yep. Gets in a nice hit with the archer. Not killing it, but that's a good chunk of damage there.
and gold-wise, it's actually more value than the dog that the knight killed. And I think Saikoya's up on unit lead, so gold value on units actually means quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He will, of course, have to, try and take that economy lead back, because like if he just Leaves that then. Okay, right. Here we go. Knight comes in. Dragon covers from the north. Interesting. He might use the harpy to... Oh, no. Oh, I guess maybe he'll use the sword to cover the knight on the left.
So it feels like Saikoya is just taking a middle ground here. Like he wants to keep the dragon in a threatening position against the enemy stronghold while still doing something somewhat useful on the left side. And what Saikoya achieved here is to prevent the knight crit from the top. So if he blocks to the left of his own knight with like that sword, then it's not possible to crit the knight anymore. So that could be what Saikoya is trying to go for here.
Yeah, that would make sense. And of course, you know, that puts him in the econ lead again at the start of his turn. I'm very curious, because he's used this balloon already, so there's no sword crit set up on the knight. What's he gonna go for? I like this dog as well.
I feel like he would just leave that as it is and just be happy with getting the archer hit on the knight for free. Maybe he would commit one more sword to hitting it, but I don't think he would. Although this dog hit on the sword there is interesting. Like, if you're going to leave that side, this dog hit was not a good trade for you.
Maybe the idea was that, and he could still go for it, like, oh, it's a bit late now. He could have mage healed when the rifle hadn't healed off the village, and used the weak sword to kill the other weak sword.
Oh, that's an option.
But I think
it won't do it from,
now it's not gold efficient enough.
right.
But it would have been a cute little play to do, but he didn't go for it. He's just gonna create this nice little defensive formation in the bottom left, and force the issue. And while he has enough stuff on this right hand side to mostly fend off Alsame's army. Like, Alsame's army on the right is bigger now. But you know, Saikoya could build like a second archer, for example, and kind of turtle up on the right, while this like big force on the left hand side just swoops down and takes all these villages. Oh, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Dancing around the koi pond. It's actually relevant this time because there are a bunch of suicides that Alsame could try. The sword could attempt a suicide from like the bridge below Merciful, and that dog on the right, beside Sigrid, could suicide from the koi pond. So there may be lethal on the cards here if Alsame rolls really high.
Yeah, he only needs to get one hit. Yeah, he just needs to suicide one sword. That's it, actually. Because Knight plus Sigrid is what, like
75.
75 plus dog. Dog is 20. So yeah, he needs to suicide. The sword is a 0 defense suicide on both sides. Likely?
So if in this situation, when the sword is hitting Merciful on the road, it's like incredibly unfavored, but at this point you just go for it anyway, because there's no way you're winning before the timer runs out. Otherwise, like, this would be a 30% suicide for a full health sword on bridge against Merciful. 5% for it to work. I'm not sure about the odds for the follow-up dog suicide. It changes depending on what you roll during the first suicide, but yeah.
Right. This seems like one of those, if he had like a 5 health sword go first, that would make it really quite favored, but or if he had a witch, that would, like, I think that would clinch it actually.
Right, yeah. If you had if you had a witch, it doesn't change the roll on the suicide because you suicide before. Oh well, it might mean that you don't need.
Yeah, you wouldn't need the swords.
Oh wait, Alsame gets the high roll on. I mean, well, it's not a high roll, but it's a pretty high roll. I mean, the low roll is the high roll, right? Because you want to deal less damage so that Merciful can hit you
Right.
and kill you, and then your suicide works. So now the question is whether that dog from the koi pond will suicide successfully into Merciful.
I think so, because it's gonna take like a full health Merciful would do like what, like 140.
120. I think this is a pretty good odds of
No, it
suiciding
would
from
deal
the
like
koi.
148 damage, I think, or 140. 144, sorry. That's how much like.
Yeah.
So. Oh, but it lives against the high roll against.
RN Jesus takes and RN Jesus gives.
Oh, that's rough. I bet that dog's feeling so proud though. It's like, I did so much damage, aren't I a good boy? And you're just like,
You're
no,
a
no,
good
you're
dog.
not.
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Oh no, that's such a shame. Cause like getting the first sword is so like that's worse
Okay.
than a coin flip.
Okay, I ran the numbers. It actually looks like the dog suicide was also unfavored. It was like an average of 97 counter attack damage. Merciful was at 87. The dog at full health hitting from a river is unfavored to suicide that. So Asame had to high roll again there in order to win, and I guess he just couldn't high roll. Unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he needed Saikoya to high roll, he needed the low roll technically himself. But yeah. That is so unfortunate. Because if he'd just done like a little bit less damage, that would have just been dead. Like,
Right.
oh,
So now, what do you go for here now, though? There's like no way you can save this, right?
I would literally just fly my balloon into the opponent's army and die. I don't think there's a way to come back at this point. There's not enough time. At least he's.
Saikoya. I was just gonna say, Saikoya now has groove again, so he could.
Yeah,
he could use groove again.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way to win here. I think you. Because at this point, you've also sacrificed 2 units to do that as well. So you're just so far behind. Like,
Right, it's 3 units actually, because you suicided a sword, then your 2 units there are gonna die.
yeah, well, I mean, like, the knight might do some damage on the counter, but actually, the harpy will just fly in and kill it, so.
Yeah, the harpy will just completely ruin it, and then like it might survive, but then something else will just clean it up afterwards.
Yeah, like, a harpy plus, like, the 3 health sword would kill it, so. Yeah, there's not really anything here. Oh, I guess, like, a witch hex would do it as well, but. Yeah, if I'm Alsame, I'm just like, nah, good game.
I tried. My luck wasn't in the cards. Okay, but Alsame's making a reasonable effort here. Didn't get the lethal, but he's backing up the push with archer and rifle. In the 4 minutes he has left, can he make something happen? That is the question.
He's gonna heal the units.
Time is decreasing as we speak, though.
He's going all in.
So at this point, if you're Saikoya, you just want to win the game, you would just pull back and turtle some more and win that way, right? But if you want it to be stylish, which I feel both of these players want to do, then you would try to go for some sort of lethal here, which is not out of the question.
1, 2. No, there's no night crit. There's not really any. Oh, I guess you could hit. You could throw like a dog at Sigrid from the road, and that would be a suicide.
You know, I actually thought there were like good chances, but like after thinking about it some more, I think there's like no good chances here. So I take back what.
Alright, so looking at like the units that would be available after clearing the sword out from the side.
So definitely use the harpy to try to kill the knight, and then like witch hacks and maybe a sword would take it out. Then you would have to invest a couple more units into taking out the sword. Then you have 3 sides to hit Sigurd from. Plus maybe some sides that you can try.
I think there's a dog suicide. Like Sigurd's on a flagstone. Dog would hit from a bridge tile. I think that would leave her with enough health that, because that's only like 16 damage. We should put her on like 84 average. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that might work.
So it's just a case of like, can you do 2 regular dog hits on Sigrid, plus a hex, plus like a knight, and I don't think that maybe the dragon could do it because you could hit the sword. Oh, but you need like a dog to hit the sword.
Oh, but see, the thing is here, you have mage, dragon, and knight that can hit Sigrid, and that's a combined attack power of, see, 90, 95.
Oh, right, yeah. If
right.
you
No,
know,
it's
actually,
a combined attack power of 100, and you can hex first,
and
or
like
you can hex up first.
you could also like. I'm gonna propose the riskiest play of all time. You have Merciful attack the sword from the koi pond to hit it on one side, and then that opens up like the mage hitting the sword to clear it from the north.
I feel like you would just clear the sword with 2 dogs, or actually that might not work. You would clear it with 1 dog and 1 sword.
Oh wait, hang on. I was being dumb this whole time. Here's what you do: you use like the dog, right, to clear. Yeah.
Right.
And then you like double mage heal Merciful. And then like you
And
could use
triple
him
mage heal Merciful. Oh, this would definitely work then, because you can triple mage heal Merciful, and hex. Crucially, you can do all those things. You have 1,300 gold here. You can do 3 mage heals and a hex. Then Merciful will be back to full, and then you have like great odds, I feel, for killing Sigrid outright with Dragon, Knight, and Commander.
I guess my question is, what kills the knight as the follow-up? Oh, I guess like a hex. Yeah, a hex plus a sword would do it.
Hex plus a sword, and then that sword on top of Sigrid, you can just deal with it with dogs. So lethal is likely on. Oh, Saikoya goes for something else. He goes for the most stylish lethal
He gets
possible.
I don't know what fish that is. It's gold.
He got the golden one. Oh my god! Is this a sign? Chat, we need a second pog in chat. We need a second pog in chat. What am I seeing? Oh
is
my
he gonna
god.
is he gonna do this? Is he gonna use Merciful's groove and then kill on the same turn?
Oh, I feel like you have to kill on this turn, because how are you escaping this otherwise? Like there's no getting there. Even if you heal Merciful back to full health here, I'm convinced that you still just die on the next turn. You just you don't try for something.
Okay, so I guess it's like, oh, uses the mage to clear the knight. That's actually quite smart, because that will do that without. It leaves open the opportunity to suicide a dog. Okay, but what do you do next? I guess like you use a dog and a sword to clear this sword?
Yeah, that would be my thought.
And then like you can suicide a dog after.
Will the dog suicide work is the question, because at this point, Saikoya has committed a lot of the high attack power units that he had. One was Merciful and the other was the Mage. So now you have left Dragon and Knight, and I don't think it's going to be enough, even if you have 3 sides, because Dragon is 45, Knight is 30, and that's a lot, but you can't follow it up with another high power thing.
Oh, but
you only have
she's also on a flagstone tile, so she's pretty tanky.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So if it doesn't work, then I think, well, maybe he's not. Saikoya might actually not be dead, even if it doesn't work, because he has a lot of remaining army which can come in and help him wall. So that's the saving grace of this position, I guess.
Yeah, like I actually think this is just not gonna work out.
Yeah, now it's not going to work out. He had lethal on the board if he did that slightly differently. But so we're probably going to see Saikoya do double.
Oh no,
mage
wait.
shields.
He could still clinch this. Dog suicide. And then like sword, dragon, knight, hex. So I guess the hex would come second.
Okay. Right. So now it's RNG, right? Now you have to hope that the dog suicides.
I mean he has to go for it, he's dead otherwise.
True. Well, there's a possibility that you can just hold out somehow with, like, you only have 2 mage shields left. And
Oh, but he's standing next to an archer and a rifle.
yes. Well, you could
And
try
a witch.
killing the.
There's a witch.
Oh, he doesn't get it. Oh, that's GG.
Oh
I feel.
no! Wait, can he still make this happen though?
No, I don't know. There's no way now.
70 health, and then
Wait, hold on. Wait, the witch can go around and hit the balloon, and then he has 4 sides.
Oh my god,
that's
I
the
didn't
play
even
we
see
didn't
that.
see. No, but it hexes.
Oh, it hexes. Alright, 70%.
I feel this is unfavored now. So
he has to
it's
go for it.
75 damage before defense. Yeah, it's not
45, yeah, it's not gonna work.
Sigrid won't survive unless there's like an uber high roll here. Saikoya needs. Okay, so at 50% health, at Sigrid at 50% health, it's 10 effective defense. Okay, yeah, and Saikoya doesn't go for it because probably there were 0 odds for that to work.
Right, so he's just instead. I think he's gonna double mage heal.
I mean, he has to. Otherwise, you just die, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you just die regardless.
I mean,
Although, no, you just die.
you can only
No,
hit
okay,
on
wait.
one side.
Hold on. I actually hold on. You know, we said all that, but there's only one side open. Well, I guess there could be 2 sides. That Koi Pond could be the second side you attack Merciful from. Sigrid. After you heal her.
This is such a bizarre follow-up.
Saikoya's Bizarre Adventure. No, I think this could actually work. Like, Alsame has counter lethal now. Because you have the rifle, you have the archer which will hit Merciful, you have a witch hex, and you have 2 sides. And you can heal Sigurd up to full health. You just clear the 2 dog. Oh. Okay, but something else has to clear the 2 dogs.
Well, he has a rifle, and an archer.
Right, but you want to save those for chipping down Merciful, right?
I guess.
Oh man,
But
you're right though. This is so bizarre.
is Alsame even gonna have time to figure this out?
Well, he has to if he wants to win. Saikoya going for maximum stall here. Even if he loses here, I will still consider him a legend. So Alsame is likely going for the play that we talked about. But now it doesn't work because... Oh, well, it might work. The rifle can kill that dog, right? Yeah, it's a guaranteed kill on the dog. and then one of the knights goes around to kill that dog in the middle. And then you have Archer to kill Merciful, plus a mage crit. That's
Yeah,
definitely
plus.
enough.
So yeah, Alsame, by the skin of his teeth, it looks like he's actually going to bring this back. And in a series of botched lethals, we're going to see a guaranteed one.
You know, sometimes Barrett, it's not about winning. It's about sending a message. And Saikoya definitely made his message very clear.
I don't know what these messages they're sending to each other are. This is like some, I don't know, like early internet argument on a forum with people with like really bad spelling. I don't know why Alsame's waiting. Like, he literally just has to go and hit him twice. Like, I mean, he could heal Sigurd again if he really wants to.
Maybe he's just waiting it out. He's gonna do it at the last minute for suspense.
Is he gonna actually? Oh my god.
You could also be BMing, advanced BMing. It's not that advanced actually. I take that back.
I would be so disappointed with Alsame if he loses now.
Okay, he's doing it.
Alright.
30 seconds on the clock. Oh, Alsame, what are you doing? You're playing with fire. Oh no! What if you disconnect at the last minute? Oh no! Alsame, just do it. Just do it. This is like that scene in Lord of the Rings. Just do it. Just do it, Frodo.
Just throw the ring. Yeah, just throw Sigurd in the koi pond.
Do it, Frodo. Oh, he does it.
Hey! And in what was possibly the dumbest game of Groove of War 5, Alsame takes it. Okay, I'm actually just lost for words now. That was awful. I mean, it was great, but it was truly awful.